Alrighty then, it's time for Team Metal Nautilus. It's a ranked game, don't worry. And I'm quite happy, which one, that the replay actually worked, because it was corrupted these last few days, so I really wanted to upload this Nautilus game. Anyways, people are damn convinced that Nautilus is in a horrible spot, that he's worse than before, and honestly, it's sort of a half-assed truth on that. He's worse than before, but not worse than everybody else is worse in this season. You know, it's like everybody got taken down a peg, and Nautilus got taken down a peg too, so it's kind of like the status quo has been kept, like I mentioned in the last video. Nautilus is actually sort of better after his first clear because Ranger's Trailblazer helps him out far more than the regular Smite would have in Season 3 and before. Either way, everybody's first clear is pretty much bad unless you're the super sustained Warwick, and even then, you know, Riot's gonna break your legs like they did to Warwick. Either way, so Nautilus, weak first clear, much like everybody else. Get past that and you're fine, you're golden, you're whatever. The thing is, rank 1 W is so pathetic that it just doesn't let you clear, and the new monsters smash it away from you before it has a great effect. So once you get rank 2 in W, your clearing completely takes a turn for the better. Like you'll see here I'm fighting I come in the gank and it's actually a really strong gank. We just unfortunately don't get it by one hit. That happens. But once you see me reach level 4, I have a rank 2 in my W, and you see my clearing completely levels out. It's completely fine, it's completely fair, and like my problems are seemingly gone. The only problem with Nautilus is that the invader junglers are still a big thing. Lee Sin, Masteries, and Zhao, that's still running amok. So that hurts almost any tank jungler. So the point that he's worse off than before is kind of silly. I mean, I did mention before that his clearing did suck, but Riot did went ahead and change a few things around and made it slightly easier. I mean, Grump, being able to smite Grump at the beginning to help you clear things and get the buff really helped out. Of course, getting leashes in general helps out a lot. So, nonetheless, though, Nautilus won't see play until invaders like Lee Sin are gimped. And I also I realized I forgot to give my runes and masteries. Now, my runes and masteries on this are a bit different than you'd expect. By the way, I'm getting destroyed in the early game. That's why I'm kind of just going to overtalk this. But it's not because of Nautilus sucking. It's just, look at this. Most junglers would die at this. I actually have Spellvamp Quints, but that's just because I kind of forgot to change my runes from the last tank I played. My masteries are 0, 17, 13, the sustained ones, but I didn't take the Spellvamp on the utility. I took, cooldown extension, I took some extra gold regeneration, that kind of stuff. And on my runes, it's attack speed red, I believe, armor yellow, magic resistance blues, with some cooldown reduction blues, and I believe it's Spellvamp Queens, just because I didn't change it. The thing is, normally I would want to take movement speed because Nautilus is the slowest motherfucker in the world. You know, and I still don't understand why Riot has yet to give Nautilus more movement speed. Back when Anivia was the slowest champion in the game, they said, that's so slow, let's change that, and gave her 10 more movement speed. Nautilus, they gave everybody more movement speed except Nautilus, so I'm just sort of curious as to, why don't they just give it to him? It's like, oh, he's just roving CC machine. Him having more speed would make him too strong. Well, right now, he's not too strong because everybody who would, pick on him is way, way stronger. Like Lee Sin and that kind of stuff. So why not just give him a little bit of boost? If he becomes too powerful, then just take it away. I doubt it because there's a lot of answers to him in the jungle. Like, oh, Nautilus is ganking everybody. Send Lee Sin and, break his scuba gear and the depressurization will explode him. Either way, I don't think Riot not buffing up some of his numbers, like base stats, is rather silly. I mean, they buffed up his armor, but I mean, he needs movement speed. A boost in attack speed wouldn't hurt either. Like a significant one, not just the kind of kitty one. So, though, I love Nautilus. You guys know he's one of my favorite champions. I will actually be able to do some of the CC locks in this game, so keep notice of whatever happens. Right now in the early game, it's really dull, right? Look here, I catch the Jarvan, I knock him about a few, and then I make sure to CC the Master E before he uses Alpha Strike on anybody meaningful. If he used it on me to dodge the ultimate, who gives a fuck? But unfortunately, the turret was targeting the Alistar, so the Master E gets to survive. The Caitlyn ultimate goes in and doesn't have no effect. We go towards the Jarvan, and then he ults me trapped. though, that we kill Jarvan, we kill Alistair, and then I didn't realize that Lissandra was coming, so I flash forward to get the Vayne, and then Lissandra shows up, kills somebody. Does she kill somebody? No. I get killed because, nobody's there to help me pick up the Mastery and the Vayne. If Lissandra hadn't shown up, then maybe we would have gotten something from that. But then the Vayne and the Mastery ended up fighting even longer, and they got picked up. But Lissandra kills the Caitlyn, and then they scatter off free to the sunset to have lesbian sex. So, yeah, that was unfortunate. But it did showcase one thing: the amount of CC that Nautilus gets to put out. One of my favorite things about Nautilus is his passive. It's sort of like, anyone who comes forward to you is gonna get ready to be slapped and slow down a few. Anyways, I noticed that my teammates are about to be getting down bottom. You see that the enemy team was roaming around in the jungle, so I was like, get ready to defend my teammates. Fortunately, there's gonna be a huge waste of time here. Is it? Yeah, the Mastery comes in, he sees that I'm nearby, he runs off. So I was just kind of dicking around here. I was unsure whether or not they had any of this warded, so I stuck around a little bit longer, just waiting for an opportunity to come. If they focused me, then, and even the Mastery comes, my teammates would likely survive, and we'd probably kill one of them, so we'll trade my life for make sure Caitlyn gets one kill. But either way, notice here how I wait for something to actually happen before I go in. Alistair is one of the bigger counters to Nautilus. I despise Alistair. So I waited till he burned his Q so I can just go right in on the Vayne and we instantly blow her up. If I had used my Q on the Vayne, or it hit Alistair and it would have been even worse. If I had used my Q on the Vayne and he hadn't burned any of his spells, he could have actually knocked me out of my Q. And then, say, Q's, uses pulverize and then his headbutt away from me, and then there my entire gank is wasted. I wasted my time. So I had to wait for him to either blow his headbutt or to blow his Q, so he'd be in a different position and go about my day. Just watch this, by the way. This Alistair this Malphite was angry at everybody and he's calling us scrubs, and then he did that shit. I kind of feel bad for him. And he was like, a lot of the pings from this game, a lot of the angry pings are from him. So it's kind of like he shouldn't be angry. He should chill out, especially because this is preseason. And I don't know. I haven't understood why people are so angry about their ranked in preseason. It doesn't even matter anymore. I mean, I'm not saying that you should just dick around and say fuck off, but you probably should. Oh, by the way, here's a CC like you saw that. It was the auto attack, slow down, ultimate, and then I pulled them back towards me. It locked, along with some Alzir's damage and constant barrage. It locked the Jarvan in place for a long time. We saw that. It normally goes like this: you auto attack with your passive, then reset with your W, so you hit them, then you click your E, so the slow gets them, and if they had flashed out, the last part of the slow might clip them. If they hadn't, then you get to put out at least 2 auto attacks, then you ult them on top, so it knocks their ass up into the air, and that gives you 1 or 2 more auto attacks depending on the enemy champion's potential escape possibilities, and then you hook them again, and it knocks them back towards you, and you get 1 more auto attack onto them. And if your teammate is along with you, that's just a shitload of damage potential then and there. So, I love Nautilus' CC potential. His lockdown is so glorious. But this fight is all sorts of fucked up. My teammates don't actually manage to kill the Vayne, and they kill Alistair and they kill the Lissandra, but in comes Jarvan to pick up the survivors, and Mastery comes in. Oh, sorry, I hit my mic during that. Sorry. And then the Malphite gets killed, and then the Master E decides, I should keep chasing, the Janna, even though my ultimate's gone. So, look at these pings. My Malphite teammate's actually telling me to go fight the Jarvan. It's like, one of the big weaknesses of Nautilus is that you really, really don't have killing potential no matter how hard you try. If you try some gimpy-ass AP Nautilus build or some attack speed build, you'll think you'll have, the advantage of it and be able to actually kill people. But no, that's mostly because you just have an item advantage, and at that point, it's just a sort of win more situation, right? So it's like, oh, I have a lot of AP and I can one-shot people as Nautilus. You know what? I'm pretty sure if I had a lot of AP and I was... I played Garen with the Death Fire Grass, and I killed people with my ultimate. Pretty sure I could justify it at that point. At the point that it's effective, I'm pretty sure I could have justified anything. Anyways, I like Nautilus. Unfortunately, at this moment, I don't recommend you actually play him. is not because the jungle's killing him, but it's because Riot still hasn't meaningfully nerfed any of the the dueling specialists and those kind of hyper aggressive junglers. And honestly, the Devourer has helped them become a little bit more dangerous. So I like, and then Jarvan honestly is one of my most hated threats as Nautilus, mostly because your low as movement speed makes Jarvan's job a lot easier of trapping you or just bypassing you entirely, and his CC and his EQ can get out of your CC lock in the most silly of ways. Now, either way, a fight breaks out in mid, and I actually don't manage to show up. Most like every other fight, this one's mega chaotic. A lot of abilities have no effect. A lot of characters just sort of seemingly dive before being clipped, and a lot of summoner spells are pretty much wasted. Still, though, the game is pretty goddamn even. So that's one reason I really liked it. So it's coming down to a nail biter. Spoiler alert, I guess. We catch the Alistair and then just watch this again. Catch the Alistair. I abandoned him because I know my teammates are going to kill him. I go right after the Vayne and to the Jarvan to keep them busy so they don't join the fight, and so I can make sure they don't leave either. Boom, ultimate hits both of them. They're locked in. The Vayne easily gets killed. I flash forward, which is a waste. And Masteries seemingly goes right in there to die, so that's why no one was able to help me catch the Jarvan. And with that, we are able to obtain a Baron. And one of my favorite things is the Nautilus is, it's a little misleading. His Q has slightly more range than it actually shows when you use the circle, the range indicator. So I love this. I love just like at the very tip, I grab the Jarvan and we end up just killing them. Though on the replay, it showed a little bit different. The range indicators for a few older champions, like I said, Nautilus, need updating, because oftentimes you'll see it's like the circle shows a certain range, but the animation or the particle effect, the anchor, goes a little bit longer than it actually shows, so you actually manage to grab the people you didn't think you were going to grab. Either way, you can see Mastery is split pushing, he has teleport, he's being a dick. So my team has to push forward and sort of race him at this point. None of us have the potential to actually catch the bastard and kill him. So we have to make this gamble, and it's a big ass gamble. Luckily we have the Baron to help us out. Jarvan gets a shield taken, his Banshee's Veil. So boom, I know this is a chance to go in. I get a twofer right there. Alistair dies, Jarvan follows suit. Or slowly follows suit, because Janna sort of almost helped him out. The Lissandra goes in, and she was only dying. So we get 3 for nothing, essentially. The Mastery's pushing, but there's no way he can out-push us, and there's no way the Vayne can protect the towers. So, easily put, these towers are out. This next tower is ours, and then the Vayne just, try as she might, she has no way of doing so. So, hooray for us. Victory for Nautilus. I'm so glad the replay worked. I know I devolved into a rant, but you guys seemingly enjoy my rants more than the actual commentary, so hooray for Nautilus, and hopefully Riot buffs tanks.